So Nintendo has officially said that they want to keep supporting the Nintendo 3DS, and they made an official statement regarding the 3DS. Here's the official statement from Nintendo regarding the Nintendo 3DS. At this point, we have no games to announce on 3DS at E3, and in fact, we're not really showing 3DS content here because it is all about Nintendo Switch. But our 3DS business continues to do quite well. Retailers continue to support both the hardware and the software, and as long as there's consumer demand for 3DS, we'll continue to support it. In fact, we believe it's a great entry point for young gamers. So you can see from that statement officially from Nintendo, they want to keep supporting the 3DS in the foreseeable future, and honestly, that does make sense, but at the same time, I'm not buying what Nintendo actually has to say, because if you think about it, they're probably pretty much just saying this, but when a new Nintendo Switch Mini comes out or a new Nintendo Switch model comes out, most likely they're going to drop the Nintendo 3DS line of systems. You guys may remember when the Game Boy Advance was old and the DS just came to the market. They kept claiming that they were going to support the Game Boy Advance, but what happened after the DS was out for a couple years? They pretty much dropped the ball on the Game Boy Advance, and I think the Nintendo 3DS is going to be no different from the Nintendo Switch crowd. Once the Nintendo Switch gets more popular, once the new Nintendo Switch most likely rolls out to the market and we finally get that to the market, most likely Nintendo is going to be dropping the 3DS line of systems. However, I can admit, if it's already selling well, why drop it? So there's really no point of dropping it if people are still buying this. And I will have to admit, I think another reason Nintendo is still supporting the 3DS, despite there being any brand new games coming to the system, I still think the reason they're supporting this is because they want to have that system for the entry-level people who cannot afford the Nintendo Switch, are young gamers. It really does make sense for young gamers, and I think the Nintendo Switch, the Nintendo 3DS is a great platform for that, because as of right now, if you look at different retailers around America, you can actually get the Nintendo 2DS, the original 2DS that looked kind of like a doorstop. You can actually get that one for about $70 to $80, and you also get that with a brand new game. I think New Super Mario Bros. 2, and I also think they do have a Mario Kart 7 bundle, so you can see for that price, that's a very good entry point for young gamers. Not just that, it's also good for people who don't want to spend on a Nintendo Switch. Maybe you're a casual gamer, so I can see why Nintendo would want to keep that around, because it is probably still selling units despite the Nintendo 3DS already having 80 million units out there in the wild. So I get why Nintendo is supporting it for the foreseeable future, but I guarantee you my bottom dollar, Nintendo is going to be dropping the Nintendo 3DS when the Nintendo Switch gets more popular, or they're pretty much just waiting for the revision of the Nintendo Switch to come out. Once the revision of the Nintendo Switch comes out, it's either going to be much more cheaper than the current Nintendo Switch, and there won't need to be another Nintendo system that's going to be cheap for alternative to young gamers or casual gamers. Anyway, guys, this is Wayne from MyTech News, signing out.